the Ace of Swords, the root of the powers of air. Now, as in the other aces, Crowley does not go and give any divinatory meanings for this card, but he does go a lot into its structure. So let's see what's going on here. So the first thing is the Ace of Swords is the primordial energy of air, the essence of the vow in Tetragrammaton. So the Tetragrammaton was Yod He Vau He, fire, water, air, earth. Vau is at Tippereth, and it is the sun. Okay? And it's the conjunction of fire and water. Mum and daddy make babies. So we have fire, soul, and the phallus. For this reason, this is the first card directly to be apprehended by the normal consciousness of mankind. There's a kind of idea that you can't really go past Tippereth. The rest of it is just kind of unknown, except that we've been talking about it all this time anyway, so it can't be that bad. The areas of such cards as the 7 and 10 of cups, we've just been talking about this 10 of cups in the previous card, are yes of an order altogether higher than the apparently much milder 4 of swords. So they're basically, he's saying that in his whole system we're talking about the minor arcana. The wands are to do with Hukma, and the cups are to do with Bina. These two Sephira are above the abyss. We've come down now to air, which is below the abyss, and is directly comprehensible. So he says, the obvious symbol of air is the wind, which bloweth whithersoever it listeth. It lacks the concentrated will of fire, or to unite with water. It's just a bit all over the place. It has no corresponding passion for its twin element earth. Air and earth are enemies. There is indeed a noble passivity in its nature. Evidently, it has no self-generated impulse. It doesn't know who it is yet. Okay. But set in motion by the mother and father, its power is manifestly terrific. So this is kind of like the mother and the father saying, you know, son, you are this, you are that. Now it's time to go and do what you got to do. Before that, he's kind of, you know, playing with his toys and all the rest of it. It visibly attacks its objective, as they, being of subtler and more tenuous character, can never do. You know, the idea of the son avenging the father, or doing what the father couldn't do, is very much in this doctrine. Its all-embracing, all-wandering, all-penetrating, all-consuming qualities have been described by many admirable writers, and its analogies are for the most part patent to quite ordinary observers. So now we go into something about Yetzirah, because we did Bria, which is essentially where fire and water is. Okay, Aslas is the aces, Bria is Hukma and Bina, and now we're down into Yetzirah formation, where the book of Yetzirah, Sefer Yetzirah, comes from. In the Yetziractic world, air is not air the first element to follow spirit. It's not via the first emergence of the phenomenal from the arcane obscurity of Akasha. How may one reconcile the doctrine of mind with the fact that Ruh, or Ruh, actually means spirit itself? Achad Ruah Elohim Chem means one in spirit, not air of the gods, of the living. And is not air the element attributed to Mercury, and most properly the breath of life, the word, the logos itself? Sefer Yetzirah is a Kabbalistic book from the 12th century Spain, which is kind of a train spotter's guide to Kabbalism in the way that, you know, men of a certain age retire to their garden shed to organise and sort the nuts and bolts into various boxes and things like this. And very much the Lever 777 is very much of this ilk as well. It's a structuring and ordering into lots and lots of tables, which can be kind of mind-boringly tedious, but are mining information if you know where to look. So he's doing this kind of rhetoric on the whole kind of, he's doing a tease about getting on to, look at the Lever 777. There's some interesting stuff there. We have Ara Reeds in there as well. It's all about these are nuts and bolts that generate and create all the other stuff. if you know the bits that are there, you can put them together, you can create rituals and magic and all kinds of things. But if you don't have that knowledge, you can't do it. It's a tedium. It's the hard work of the journey. Okay. So, and then it says the student, see, the student must be referred to some less raw, cursory, elementary and superficial treatise, which I think is kind of to do with probably Liber 7.7 in many respects. So it's a kind of, you know, it's the mind categorizing things. It's the mind differentiating things. The mind that's saying this is different to this, which creates separation, which means you can't, and then you have to kind of bring them together. But it's difficult to do that because you put the separation there. Solve coagula. It's very much to do with the lovers. This idea of synthesis and analysis, breaking things down and putting them back together again. So the Ruach is centered in the area Sephra Tiphreth, who is the son, the firstborn of the father, and the son, the first emanation of the creative phallus. He derives directly from his mother Bina through the path of Zain, the source, which is Gemini, the lovers, the sublime intuitive sense, so that he partakes absolutely of the nature of Neshama. From his father, Hukma is informed through the path of He, the great mother, the star, Al-Nadi Nuit. So he's got the path He and the star here. He's transposed the He and the Zedi, so that the creative impulse is communicated to him by all possibilities soever. Finally, from Ka to the Supreme, descends directly upon him through the path of Gimel, the High Priestess, the true triune light of initiation. The three-in-one, the secret mother in her polymorphous plenitude. These alone hail him thrice blessed of the supernals. Because it's, even though air is not in the supernals, because you have fire, water and fire there, it's connected through the high priest, and it drops down from the high priestess down to Tiphreth at the center. So Tiphreth is air, ruled by the sun, which is why you see the sun symbol at the center of the full card. And then he says, the sword represents the sword of the Magus, crowned with the 22-rayed diadem of pure light. The number refers to the Artu. Also 22 equals 2 times 11, the magical manifestation of Hukmah, wisdom, the Logos. 11 is the number of magic and change. Also the High Priestess, you see it as 2 lines in Roman numerals. So you have the duality that's going on there. Upon the blade accordingly is inscribed the word of the law, Thelema. This word sends forth the blades of light, dispersing the dark clouds of the mind. We're also into the area of the Magus card itself, who is the word and the Logos as well. It's a slight messianic quality to all this card as well too. But have you noticed he's just kind of looking around at what the air card represents, and of all these kind of things, that's just these sparks of everything that's going on there that you have to integrate to generate yourself. Otherwise it's just chaos. So the next card in the sequence is the Two of Swords, Peace.